How are you? Question was to how to measure visual acuity. What's the golden standard? First of all, I can't stress enough that I have a free course, Vision in Your Child. In it, it has tips to have a successful ophthalmologist appointment. They have to measure the eyes the old-fashioned way with a retinoscope. I've actually posted up really good videos on that explaining what it is, but they take the lenses out manually, right? And what they're looking for is they measure up with the lenses and they're looking to see, in simple terms, I'm not a doctor in ophthalmology, they're looking for how much light is shining in the back of the retina, and that's how they measure the acuity of the eyes. Also, it has to be done manually is they're looking for an astigmatism. So the cornea, which should sort of be a round, vessel within the pupil, right, will actually have more of a point to it. And that point can go horizontally or vertically. How you tell that is by the axis of the eyes. The eye should axis at 90 degrees. Anyone who does not do that to your child does not have a right to tell you how they see, how they're processing vision, and especially going into CVI. They cannot look at a child just because they have damage to the brain and say that they have CVI or processing disorder. Understanding what the acuity means to your child, meaning for the most part, I need glasses. Well, that's what acuity, or some people say, like in India, they'll say the power of your eyes. But the astigmatism is the pull. So lots of times a child can just be, again, have what's called an intermittent, where the eye turns in or turns out, or it could be a fixed, and it can be bilateral, and it can be an intermittent bilateral. It means it happens sometimes, like when they get tired. If you've ever driven a car, and you're out late and it's been a long ride, you'll actually feel your eyes. They feel like they're starting to separate, and that's what they're doing. You're losing your convergence in your binocular vision. And with the eyes, they can fatigue out really quickly in your child. So when you're going into those aspects of vision, I need to know how each eye is using its vision structurally. Using teller cards, Cardiff cards, any of those kind of things really is, to me, saying your eye doctor just doesn't know how to examine a child with special needs. Even for a child that's typical, using Cardiff cards, kids tend to cheat, they memorize, or they can get a certain thing like a tree, or like I just saw on one of the vision things, oh, well, my child consistently gets this one thing wrong. Teaching your child that this is 5, and sometimes this is 5, this is 5, this is 5. You can't use cards and guess. It really needs to be done, first of all, through the retinoscopy, and you're looking at the way vision is processed. If your eye doctor is not using that processes for your child, I'm sorry, you just need to get a second opinion or ask them for it, right? That's why, again, where I have the tips to the ophthalmologist. I'll see it all the time. You can see it on the board. Yes, ma'am, I went to the eye doctor. Well, the report says right here the child could not be examined. Well, yeah, they weren't cooperating. No, that's the doctor's fault. I've seen Dr. Cassidy work miracles with kids. They could be Roman, whatever. He literally is like boop, 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 and gets it. When you're using teller cards, Cardiff cards, problem is with the card system. First of all, is your child most likely is nonverbal, or if they are verbal, again, where they're at. And 2, there's that old saying, well, that's good enough. No, it's not about being good enough. You have to have your child thoroughly examined. A child that's typical, being on the verge of needing glasses, that might be one thing. A child that already has developmental issues, whether it's developmental delays, globally delayed. I mean, I've seen kiddos which are globally delayed, severe, and they get glasses and it knocks them down to like mild. And then 2, when the child is examined, now how do they use their vision? Functional vision is where you're going to come in here to play to see how vision affects through their eyes and through their bodies. First of all, the examination has to show that with or without glasses, your child's going to have binocular vision. The eyes work together. Then from there, what glasses will do is make both eyes even, but that doesn't mean your child knows how to see with both eyes even. They're used to, might seem like this, and just out. There's no, and then the second one is what I just showed you, is they have to learn how to use convergence. Please don't start off with things like this, right? Convergence you want to start with actually is more active passive convergence, where I'm here, I converge, and I converge, right? Versus that actually track to follow. There's qualities of your vision, all that goes around vision. But understanding how your child can see. That's what's number one. When they don't process their vision properly, please don't necessarily jump to CVI. Even if they are on the CVI scale, you have to make sure that they have binocular vision and then convergence. So nystagmus would be number one. And again, these are all in my vision in your child. And then if there's patching, you've got to patch correctly. And that I have the Patching 101 course on. A lot of my courses are just free or easy, simple, very low. But again, do not let anyone diagnose CVI. They have to have read your ophthalmology report, make sure the eyes were examined properly for what I just said. So the acuity would be the sphere, the cylinder is the astigmatism, and the axis is the direction of the eyes. Because again, vision can be fine, but if you've got an axis of 10 and you've got an axis of 175, like I'm in patching. Because again, I don't have that binocular vision, I don't have that convergence to where it should be at. And they have to do it with the retinoscope. That's it. No cards, no nothing. It can't be. Thanks, guys.